So in this video, we are going to talk about trigonometric functions of real numbers. So let's talk about the unit circle. It is a circle of radius 1 unit and with center at the origin of a rectangular coordinate system. So this circle is divided into 12 equal parts. So let's say this is the y-axis and this is your x-axis. So we start at points 1, 0 and then counterclockwise. So at the first division, first stop, the measurement of the angle of this one will be 30 degrees. Ito siya. Then for the second stop, that will be 60 degrees and then 90 degrees for a right angle. So dito sa gitna ng 30 and 60, if we divide this quarter, okay, if we try to divide this one, supposedly equal siya. So this will be 45 degrees. Okay, so that is the division of the unit circle. And ito naman are the coordinates of each point. So the equation of a unit circle is equal to this one. X squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So that is your unit circle. Okay, so angle is the basic figure formed by two line segments that extend from a common endpoint called the vertex. So yung angle natin looks like this one. Okay. So ito yung tinatawag natin na vertex. Tapos dito mo i-measure ngayon si angle which is usually denoted by theta. A positive angle is made by a rotation in the counterclockwise direction and a negative angle is made by a rotation in the clockwise direction. As I have stated kanina dito sa ating unit circle, yung pag-measure natin ng angle would be in the counterclockwise direction for it to be positive. Pwede rin naman na clockwise but the measurement would be negative. So unit of angle measurement, we have 4 units here: degree, radian, gradient, and mil. For the conversion factor, so 1 revolution, for the degree we have 360 degrees, for radian 2 pi, for gradient 400 grad, and for mil 6,400 mils for 1 revolution. So these are the different angle measurements and the conversion factor. Okay, so let's try to convert 60 degrees to radians. So on 1 revolution, okay, 1 rev is equal to 360 degrees. And for 1 revolution in radians naman is equal to 2 pi. Since degrees ito, kailangan nating i-eliminate si degree unit. So to convert 60 degrees into radians, we are going to multiply this one with a factor. So ano yung factor na yon? So to eliminate yung degree sign dito, kailangan i-divide natin siya with a number that has the same unit. And for this one, ito is 360 degrees. Tapos, ang ilalagay natin dito sa taas is yung unit ng pagko-convertan natin, which is si radians. So, ang ilalagay natin dito is si 2 pi. So, this will be equal to 60 divided by 360 times 2. So, this will be equal to 120 over 360 degrees times pi. So, yung pi na to will remain kasi we are converting this degree unit to radians. So, 120 divided by 360 is equal to 1 over 3 and then pi. So, ito na ngayon yung conversion ng 60 degrees into radians natin. Now, let us convert 3 pi over 2 in degrees. So, maggamit ulit natin tong conversion na to. So, 3 pi over 2 times, again, yung nasa baba is the same unit as what we are converting, tapos dun sa taas is kung anong unit yung bago-convertan natin. So for this one, this is equal to 2 pi. And then, sa taas naman, that is 360 degrees. So this will cancel. Okay. And this is equal to 3 times 360 degrees divided by 2 times 2. So the conversion of 3 pi over 2 radians into degrees will be equal to 270 degrees. Okay, so that is how you convert the different units of angle measurements. So these are the different types of angle. So we have 12 types. The null angle, from the name itself, null, yung theta niya or yung angle niya is equal to 0 degrees. For acute angle, the theta is less than 90 degrees. For right angle, theta is equal to 90 degrees. Obtuse angle, theta is greater than 90 degrees. Okay, so you can just read this one. It's self-explanatory. Now we have the right triangle. So in any right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs is equal to the square of the length of the longest side. So this statement is the Pythagorean theorem. So in mathematical equation, ito siya, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So yung longest side na sinasabi dito is yung ating hypotenuse. And in this triangle, it is denoted as c. That's why yung mathematical equation natin looks like this one. And we have trigonometric functions that are used to solve for a Pythagorean theorem. So this is the SOHCAHTOA. For SO, sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So yung opposite dito is the opposite side where the theta or the angle is being measured. And then the hypotenuse, of course, the longest side. For ka, cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Yung adjacent naman is yung katabi ng ating or katabi where the angle is being measured. And then for TOA, tangent theta, opposite over adjacent. So these are the measurements of the sides. Okay, so next one is the oblique triangle. So in solving for an oblique triangle, gagamitin natin si sine law and cosine law. Sine law, in any triangle, the ratio of any one side to the sine of its opposite angle is constant. So, ibig sabihin, for this triangle, yung alpha natin, beta, and gamma are the measurement of the angles, and then A, B, and C are the measurement of the sides. So, ito, si A over sine alpha, magka-opposite sila as well as B and beta, and then C and gamma. So, yung ratio daw nila are all constant and equal. So we can use this one to solve for the missing side or the missing angle for an oblique triangle. For cosine law, in any triangle, the square of any side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides minus twice the product of these two sides and cosine of their included angle. So for this one, if we are going to solve for side A, so this will be the formula. Square natin yung other two sides, which is si B and C. Tapos i-add natin, and then we subtract twice the product of the two sides given, and then multiply it to cosine of the included angle. So, included angle natin dito is alpha. Or we can just say na cosine of the opposite angle of the unknown side. We also have this magic hexagon. So, we have the different trigonometric identities, sine, cosine, tangent, and then cotangent, secant, and cosecant. Okay? So, dito nakukuha yung iba other trigonometric identities like this one, sine squared x plus cosine squared x is equal to 1. Ito yung arrow niya, as well as with this one, and then ito. So tangent squared x plus 1 is equal to secant squared x, and 1 plus cotangent squared x is equal to cosecant x. We can also use this one to solve for the reciprocal identities. So for example, si sine natin, sine x is equal to 1 over, ito siya, pa-diagonal, 1 over cosecant x. For cosine x naman, that is equal to 1 over, ayan, si secant x. For tangent x, that is equal to 1 over cotangent x. Okay. So, pwede natin gamitin si magic hexagon to identify the different trigonometric identities. Okay, so let's try to solve an example. Find the values of the 6 trigonometric ratios of angle theta. Find also the angle that passes through 5 and 12. So, given tayo ng dalawang coordinates dito. So, how do we plot this one? Okay, sa ating right triangle, okay, so in our right triangle, this is considered as our y-axis, and ito naman is our x-axis. So if we are going to plot this one, for example, this is at 0. Okay, 0, 0. Yung 5 natin is ito. So the measurement of this one is 5, and the measurement of this one is equal to 12. Okay? And then, ito yung tinatawag natin na radius or the hypotenuse. So, in order to solve for the 6 trigonometric ratios, which is the secant, or let's start at sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent, we are going to solve for the value of r or the hypotenuse. So, paano natin ito-solve si r? If you recall yung Pythagorean theorem natin, that r is equal to the square root of ito, si 5 squared plus 12 squared. So, yung original formula is r squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So, let's say this is a and this is b. Okay? So, if you're going to solve for r, that will be equal to 13. Okay? So, pwede na nating isulat dito na 13 yung ating hypotenuse. So, now, let's solve for the sine. So, ano yung gagamitin natin to solve for the sine theta? Of course, si SOHCAHTOA. So, this will be equal to sine theta is equal to opposite. Okay? So, dito natin i-measure si theta. So, sine theta will be equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So, yung opposite natin dito is 12, and then hypotenuse natin is 13. Okay? So, this is one of the trigonometric ratios. And then, next natin is which is cosine theta is equal to adjacent. So, adjacent dito is ito. Si 5 divided by hypotenuse 13. So, that is the second trigonometric ratio. The third one is si TOA, which is tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent, 12 over 5. Now, what about the three other trigonometric ratios? So, we have your cosecant theta, secant theta, and cotangent theta. So, meron na tayong SOHCAHTOA dito. So, how do we solve for cosecant theta? That will be equal to, ayan, CHO. And then, for secant theta naman, we have SHA. And then, for cotangent, that is CAO. this will be equal to hypotenuse over opposite. So, ang hypotenuse natin is 13 divided by opposite, that is equal to 12. And for secant theta, that will be equal to hypotenuse over adjacent, that is 5. And for cotangent, that is adjacent, 5 over 12. Okay? So, if you can observe, sine theta or sine x, sabihin na lang natin na sine x is equal to 1 over cosecant x. Okay? So, if you observe here, yung sine theta natin is 12 over 13 yung ratio. Yung cosecant theta natin is 13 over 12, which means they are just reciprocal. So, even if you cannot memorize this one, pwede mo na lang i-memorize si SOHCAHTOA. Okay? SOHCAHTOA. And then, if you're going to get the cosecant theta, for example, kunin mo lang yung reciprocal ni sine theta. Okay? For cosine x naman, that is 1 over secant x, 5 over 13 dito. Dito naman is 13 over 5. Again, they are reciprocal. Ganon din kahit tangent theta and cotangent theta.